want to. I can see you do. It isn't much to ask of you. Say yes. Say yes. Say yes. Why not? You want to. I can see you do. I say, come over here to me. Not until you say yes.
In our first nutrition video, we learned that human bodies come equipped with growth trajectories already built in. Each of us has eating, weight, and metabolism programs running that are designed to keep us on course. And these programs are controlled by hormonal signals that flow continuously from body to brain. This system will maintain itself indefinitely, unless it's altered by disease, or rapid weight loss, or the side effects of medications. But in our second video, we saw how the brain's reward circuitry can override this system of metabolic checks and balances, inadvertently increasing the possibility of metabolic disease in the process. This will happen if our brain decides it can tune out the signals of satiation or satiety that the body sends to it. Or if it decides to interpret hunger mimics, messages originating in the brain itself, as if they are signals coming from the body instead, and indicating a need for additional fuel. We usually learn to do the former in response to repeated exposure to social or environmental cues. The internal experiences that mimic hunger are frequently the brain's response to boredom or negative emotional states or cravings, situations that we sometimes refer to as emotional eating or taste hunger.
Say yes. Say yes. You want to. I can see you do.
Two things to notice here. In both cases, the end result is the consumption of calories that our bodies don't actually need. And in both cases, we're eating in response to some cue, perhaps an external one, the smell of popcorn at the movies, or a bowl of candy on a desk, or donuts in the break room. Or perhaps it's an internal cue, some random thought or memory. The cue action-reward sequence is characteristic of habits, and it's when our brain's tendency to override metabolic hormonal controls becomes a habit that our ability to keep from overeating hits a wall. Habits are strange in that they don't require conscious thought. In fact, they're specifically designed to allow us to run on autopilot. This could be useful if it lets us multitask while driving, for example, but it can be unwelcome when we're trying to stay away from too many double caramel mocha macchiatos. The other problem with habits is that, once they're established, the learned action sequences can be tough to change. For example, think of some things you do every morning, always in the same order. If you decide, tomorrow morning I'm going to do things in a different order, how many tries do you suppose that will take? So how do we change a habit? We can try to eliminate external cues, but it's often difficult to get rid of all of them. and it's even harder to eliminate internal ones. For habit reversal, we'll usually do better if we first learn to become aware of cues and then practice changing our responses to them. As you might expect, our awareness and commitment toolbox can provide us with literally dozens of ways to practice both cue awareness and habit change. So many, in fact, that we can't fit them all in one video. And ACT is also able to lend a hand if we find we need to examine, question, or rethink some of our assumptions and beliefs about nutrition, and also about the stories we tend to tell ourselves about our own eating habits. Changing behavior can be hard work, but as we've seen in a previous video, ACT can help with the part of acceptance that means learning to become comfortable with being uncomfortable, whether it's living with tinnitus or with that voice that keeps telling you you're hungry.
You want to? Say yes.
These nutrition videos are designed to provide a look at our approach to nutrition and metabolic health. These efforts, and the science behind them, are offered as a means to one end: finding more ways for all of us to live healthy lives that are also in harmony with what we consider important.